For 12 years, James Cameron's 1997 romantic epic Titanic sat as the box office king in movie history. It was the first film to cross the $1 billion mark, not accounting for inflation, and it was only unseated by Cameron's next film, Avatar, which is another movie we got to review. The story is a simple one and well known by now to fans all over the world. An old woman comes aboard the Keldysh after she sees a treasure hunter, Brock Lovett, played by Bill Paxton, uncover a drawing of her, that she claims was of her from the Titanic. So he brings her aboard, and she tells the story of how that picture came to be and what happened afterwards. And Titanic is one of the great love stories of ours or any time, and that is not a statement I make lightly. The meat of the story is about Rose DeWitt-Decatur, a rich heiress who's traveling to America to marry her supercilious fiance, Cal Hockley, whom she despises to no end, and a young American named Jack Dawson, who won his tickets in a poker game. They meet under intense circumstances when she nearly takes a dive off the back of the ship. But there's a connection there, and they soon fall in love. Of course, everyone knows the eventual fate of the doomed ocean liner, which struck an iceberg and sank and killed well over 1,000 people. But of course, the Titanic is just a setting of the film. The real story is the love story between Jack and Rose, and it's a great one. Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio give impeccable performances, and they share real chemistry, and they're actually good friends in real life. So that, I suppose that helps. But their performances are excellent, and James Cameron is a master storyteller. And what's great about this movie is that he has at least 24 characters running around on this ship. He gives all of them their due. They're well developed, well acted, well written, and of course some of the lines are cornball, of course. But that's in keeping with the tradition of great Hollywood epics. And I love this movie. I think it's a masterpiece. It deserved every single one of the 11 Oscars it won. And actually, that not only did he not win, but the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't even nominated for Best Actor is astonishing, because this is a performance of legends. It deserves to go down in history, along with Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter and Heath Ledger as the Joker, or even Rick Blaine in Casablanca. He's that good. This is a great movie. 4 out of 4 for me.
When this film was released, I was a teenage boy, and I was very much not going to the theater to see what was being billed as a romance. And this film, you could not ignore it, because it had at the time, which may still hold up, a record run of being number one week after week. So I went to see this film, finally giving in, ready to hate on this film. I'm just going to get through because, hey, there's special effects at least. Yeah. There's that, right? And I'm in there, and this story and this romance pulled me in so much that I had to admit, as a teenage boy, that this was amongst one of the best films I had ever seen. This was an all-time great film. It always will be. It's never going to come out of the top 100 films unless we get 1,000 years out, because there's just so many films.
Yeah.
I felt like I just loved it. It felt at times so happy and exciting. Like I could feel the excitement of them taking off on the ship.
Yeah.
And the optimism and then, like I said, the romance is amazing. I felt like I was in love with Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
After
me, it was Leo. It was Leo all the way.
Okay, right.
She was great, but Leo.
Yeah. So I think either way, the young person is like, you'd be in love with one of them. You felt like you fell in love with these 2 characters, and then when you get to the ship is sinking and the climax of the film, I mean, it's amazing. Nothing like that had been shot the way he did it. it's so dramatic, and you feel these are real people. It's not like a film where a similar film like Poseidon, where you have a ship going down or whatever, and it's just meant there for action and stuff.
Yeah,
you're watching people are losing their lives, and it's heartbreaking and it's heart wrenching.
Yeah,
and at the same time you're just on edge because you're these people now are you're in love with them as yourself, and they're in love, and you want them to be okay. And we didn't mention Billy Zane is never better than in
oh yeah, he is perfectly nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is like so arrogant and so black-hearted that you just love to hate this guy. I mean, it's perfect casting. Michael Biehn was, in talks to play the role, but Cameron took a chance on Billy Zane, and my God, did it pay off. This is one snake-like villain. I mean, oh man.
Yeah. And when you have a true story at the heart, not the love story, but you have a true story of the Titanic, a ship, and people died. If not done respectfully and tastefully,
oh yeah,
it could really be a slap in the face to people who are.
But that's not what happened here.
No, it's not, because he took the time to do, like, for instance, the band kept playing.
Yeah,
to try to calm people, and he showed that he gave real life people their due, and he made the loss of life as something important, not a backdrop, just a backdrop.
Right.
I felt like the love story and the sinking of the ship, this is sort of it, were on equal footing.
Right.
Their importance, and then at the end, the scene where the old lady she passes.
Yeah.
And she goes back. I mean, how could you not be emotionally moved?
Oh yeah.
In that point, oh my goodness! Like I said, I love this film. I watch it every couple of years. It's never not been amazing whether I'm watching it on TV, even when I catch it on TV cut with commercials. I mean, I still love this film. It's a 4 out of 4.
Oh yeah,
all the way.
I remember when they re-released it in 2012. I went back to see it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Even in 3D, it looks fantastic. Yeah. One thing you did not mention is the famous portrait scene. Okay. In this movie, that scene does not have any, overt sexuality to it. It's not a sex scene. Yes, she is nude, but it is no overt, sex. But that scene is absolutely erotic. I mean, that is really, really hot because of the connection between them.
Yeah.
Robert G. Ebert said the difference between, masturbation and eroticism is the connection between two characters, as opposed to just looking at their bodies. Here, there is a fascinating and complex, relationship between Jack Dawson and Rose DeWitt-Picator, and that's what makes it so unbelievably sexy. I mean, yeah, there's a sex scene later on in the car with the handprint.
Even that is really I mean, the way they did that.
It's also tastefully done.
Yeah.
And that's pretty hot too. And nothing beats the portrait scene.
Right.
I mean, and you forget a lot of the secondary characters, like Kathy Bates' Molly Brown. She is very good. She is excellent. Frances Fisher as Rose's mother, Ruth. She is very good. Billy Zane, you mentioned. Victor Garber as Thomas Andrews. Jonathan Hyde is the designer of the ship. I can't think of his name right now.
Kathy Bates is the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Yeah, I mentioned. She's very good. Even if they have like one line, they're very good. I mean, there's so many memorable moments in this movie, and not just the action scenes, like the dancing, or like when they get up on that little raised dais to dance, and Rose tosses her shoes down, and one who catches them smiling. That was really a nice touch.
It's fun. It's fun at times.
Oh yeah!
It's like it goes
like this scene,
180.
The scene in that same dance where Rose spots the guy who just like falls over because he's drunk. That was
That was funny. And then when she chugs the beer, stands up on her toes, and everyone's just like staring at her, mouth agape. They're just like, oh my god. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
It is a very funny scene.
Yeah.
And then and in the scene when Jack and Fabrizio arrive at their cabin, and their cabin's like, where's Sven? That was funny. And it's just, I mean, it's a great movie from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Not a frame is wasted. And there's never the sense like, oh, they could cut this out. You know, every scene works, every line works, and I mean, yeah, sure, she does call his name out far too many times during the hour-long climax, but you know, that's okay. But this is just a great movie. I love this movie. I really do. It's a perfect 4 out of 4 for me.
Right? Yeah, 4 out of 4 for me. And every film I give a 4 out of 4 doesn't always mean I think it's a perfect film. It just means I felt like it's
a highest recommendation.
Loyal. Yeah, and it hits everything that it mostly really wants to do. But this is a perfect film. This is 4 out of 4. Like nothing wrong. I cannot critique anything.
Yeah,
in the film.
I mean,
loved it.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, absolutely.
When centuries down the road, when they're still making movies and looking down at the best movies, this is gonna be right there with Casablanca, Star Wars, Schindler's List, all the greats. Titanic is absolutely going to be on there.